this is Lori, you're close to my heart maker, and today I'm going to be making some cards that can be found in the new July through August of 2023 catalog using this beautiful beach paper called Cape Cod. Let me show you the cards that we will be making. We're going to be making these two cards, first of all, right here. Let me hold this up to the camera so you can have a better view of that. I am using just the paper pack alone, not the one with the stickers that came in the Cape Cod collection. So we have this paper, we have this wood grain paper here. We have this paper that has the little fronds on it. And we have this paper here. Also with this collection, we're going to be using the Cape Cod embellishments to go with it. It comes with this little set here, and then it comes with these ones here. As you can see, has the little fences on it that we'll have fun playing with. And in addition to that, I'm going to be using the Cape Cod card making stamp set. And in these embellishments, it came with these little pieces. Look at all of these. These will be so cute on those cards. Oh, okay, let's get started. First of all, we're going to make this card right here. And what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of the wood grain paper, and that's going to be cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And you're going to need 2 strips of paper that come from this striped paper right here. And you're going to cut them at 1/2 by 3 3/4. And this middle piece right here, this is cut at 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. And I'm going to show you how they made that. The artist who did this said that they dragged the stamp across the paper to give it that watercolored look. And I tried it in some different ways, and I kind of struggled. And I came up with a way that works, but let me show you what doesn't work. First of all, I took a piece of white daisy paper, and I took this stamp here. On this one, it's the top piece here, and I took some Lagoon ink, and I did what she said she did. She drug it across the paper. So I'm going to ink it up, get that inked up really good, and then I'm going to drag it across. But the problem is, look at it, it sticks and it doesn't look so good. That doesn't quite look like the picture here. So I tried putting water on the stamp like this. Let's see. Let's get some water. I put water on the stamp and tried dragging that, and it just stuck. That didn't work. Then I decided to spritz my paper and ink this up again and go across. It glides easier, but it's kind of blotchy looking, and I'm not happy with that. So then I went ahead and got out some watercolor paper. I'm using this paper here from Canson here. So I'll just take a piece off of this. Okay, so what I ended up doing with this is, let's just go ahead and spritz the watercolor paper. And let's ink up the stamp and see what happens. And I drag it across, and look at that. I got that nice watercolor look that they did there. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. It's kind of soft because it's wet, but you'll want to let it dry. You can let it dry on its own, or you can use a heat gun. But look at the the difference between those two. And then we need a little bit of sand down here on the bottom. So I'm going to clean off my stamp. Let's wipe that off. And now I'm going to take the Toffee color, and I'm going to put a little bit more water down here because it dried. I'm going to ink this up. Good, like that. And then I'm going to drag this across like that. And get that little speck off there. Look at how nice that looks. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's assemble this card here. So I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to center it on my card base. I'm going to put that up at the 4 1/4 inch mark. So I'm going to put that down. Let me move this over so you can see. So there's 4 1/4 right there. Okay, then I'm going to take these two little pieces here. I want the little brown line to be up at the top. Let's glue that down. Okay. And we're going to do the same with this one, only the little brown line will be down at the bottom. Okay, now let's take the palm tree. I'm using this white palm tree here that was on this white piece of cardstock here. And I have two markers. This one is dull green DG1. So I'm going to use DG1 and DG2. And for the tree trunk, I'm going to use earth brown. And I have that in EB1. And that's what I think I'm going to use for the whole thing. So I'm just going to color it. It's pretty simple. Give it a good coverage. And then for the leaves, I'm going to start with the light side, and I'm going to color the whole thing in the light color. I love these markers. They're so easy to use and they blend so well. Alcohol markers are the best. I was so happy when I got my first set of them. It just makes coloring so much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and put some darker color up here to give it a little bit of shading. See? There we go. See how nice that looks? And if I want to, I can go even darker and add just a little bit here towards the center. Like that. Doesn't that look nice? That looks really pretty, doesn't it? And then if I want, I can go over the whole thing again with the lighter color to blend it. Pull the color out. There we go. And there's our tree. And I also have the little fences here. And so let's see, when I look at the picture here, how the fence goes down. Let's see. It's gonna go like this here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the tree like right about here. And then this piece here is going to go over it like this. And we'll have a little bit on the edge here that we will cut off. Let's see, actually, I think maybe the tree needs to come over just a little bit, like about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use some liquid glue for this so that it'll stick better. I like to use this Barely art glue, and a lot of times when I do my cards, I will use it all over the card and versus the tape runner. I just like the way it holds everything down. And this has a real fine tip with it, which makes it really easy to put the glue down. You just need a little bit. The stuff sticks really well. Okay, so let's see. So this is gonna go like here. And I think I'm going to put this like right about there. Okay, and I can glue down my fence. I'm not gonna glue all these pieces down, just kind of randomly so it sticks. Once this glue is on, it stays down. It's not going anywhere. Let's see how this is going to go on. Maybe, I think I might want to cut this piece off right here, the first piece. I'm just going to trim that off. And then it'll just sit on there like that. Let's do that like that. It looks great. And then I will just trim these little pieces off the edge here. Then it calls for 2 little birds. And so I have the two smallest ones, this one and this one. Let's put that one there. And let's see, this one here. And okay, so now this tag here, this is actually a sticker, and I'm not using the sticker sheet. So I'm going to cut a small circle using one of my die cuts. The circle that I cut measures 1.5 by 1.5. And so then I'm going to go ahead and stamp It's a Good Day for a Birthday. So I'm using intense black ink and a small block. So I'm going to ink this up really well. And I'm going to go ahead and set it down on the paper gently. Give it firm pressure, but we don't want to push too hard. We just want the ink to be absorbed into the paper. So I'm going to hold it here for about 10 seconds. That way it will have a chance to soak in. Okay, and there's my stamped image there. I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole up at the top here. My crocodile and a pencil, and let's figure out. Let's put the hole right about here. Okay, there we go. So now that is done. And now we're going to watercolor on this. I'm going to get my all-purpose mat back out and a water brush. And I'm going to use the Periwinkle ink. So what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze it because we want to get the ink to transfer to the lid. So get a little water in my brush. And go ahead and just go ahead and put it on here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take some embroidery thread. And I'm going to go ahead and thread the loop through the top of it. Okay, let's lay it down. Here in the picture, looks like they went all the way around, but I don't think I want to do that. I think what I'm going to do is just tie a little knot up here at the top. To pop this up on some foam tape. Put this up here. And then this top of the tag, I'm going to put a little bit of glue to hold this down. Like right about there. And I think I'll trim this a little bit. Okay, and then I'll put a couple of little gems down here. Okay, and my first card is done. Okay, let's make our next card. This one here. For this piece, I cut a piece of the From colored paper at 3 3/4 by 5. And for this piece, I cut a piece of white daisy at 3 by 4 1/4. And the colors that are used are Periwinkle, Sundance, Lagoon, Bluebird, and Toffee. And for the plants, I'm using Rosemary. Looks like they used a lighter color of green here, but I'm going to go ahead and use Rosemary for all of it. And then the thank you, they did that in Espresso. So let's get started. I'm going to turn my mat over. And we're using the different layers of these stamps here. So this first one here, it's kind of important how you lay this one down. I'm going to season it on my arm. Our polymer stamps are very high quality, and when they're made, they come with a film over them. And so you want to remove that film. You can rub it on your arm, or you can use a rub and remove eraser or any other eraser you have. What we are going to do here is with this, the sand goes at an angle upwards, and the other stamps layer right on top of that. So when I put this down, I don't want to put it straight down like this. I want to kind of have it sloping upwards. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up in the Toffee. Make sure I got that covered really well. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. Okay, I'm going to let that soak into the paper for about 10 seconds. Okay, next I'm going to take the Lagoon ink and do the next layer. Going to line that right up next to the sand. Okay, and while I still have this on here, I'm going to go ahead and create this blue water line, and I'm going to use the Bluebird ink on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the ink right on the edge of the stamp here. So, and to do that, I'm just going to kind of roll it in the ink like this. There we go, just roll it around and get the ink on there. I have some ink on my block and I want to make sure I get that off. And I think I want to create a thinner line, so I'm going to take my stamp chamois and just go along here like this. Okay, now that that's done, I'm just going to go ahead and line that right up here on the edge where the two inks meet. Put that down. And now I have my water line. For the next layer, I'm going to do the Periwinkle ink first, and then I'm going to come back and do the Sundance. Okay, and in this space right here, I'm going to go ahead and put down the Sundance. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink a little bit here on the bottom with that. Just like about that much. And I'm gonna put it right there. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Bluebird ink again, and I'm going to put these little birds in the sky here. Okay, let's let those right about there. And then we have the little bushes that we need to put down. So let's start with the bigger one first. I'm gonna take the Rosemary ink. And I'm going to put that right about here. Then I'm going to do the same with the smaller little pieces of grass. Put one right here. And looks like they have a half of one here. So I'm just going to ink up half of this and put that like right there. Okay, I'm not going to put a sentiment down there because I'm not sure how I'm going to use this card. So I'm going to leave this alone, and I'm going to flip my mat back over. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to take our palm trees. I have the medium and the small palm trees. See, if we look here, we have two palm trees that are kind of large. There's a real large one, and this is the medium one here. So you're going to use that. You're going to use this one right here for the small one. And I am going to take these same markers that I used before, and I'm going to be using the dark DG3 of the Dull Green blend, and I'm going to color the palms. As you can see, you can color on the craft cardstock. And on this one, I'm going to do the lighter tone, the middle one. Okay, and then I'm going to take the brown, the dark one, and I'm going to color these. Now that those are done, I'm going to go ahead and glue those on my card. So they're going to go like that and that, those two together like that. My card is almost done. I just need some little coconuts for this tree. And what I am going to do, I don't have the exact ones that they use. What I'm going to do is I have these little tan colored ones. Here's one and here's one. And I'm going to color them a darker brown. I'm going to take this here, this earth brown shades. And let's start with the lightest shade. It's EB5. And let's see how that works. So see, if you don't have the color of embellishments that you need, make your own. You can just color them with the markers. Also, if you have the clear sparkles, those color really well too. So there we go. So now I've got the colors that I need. Let's put those down. And there's our card. And here are the two cards that we made today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you and have a great day.